Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video will be seen and shared. It's Saloon Driver once again, bringing you the final installment of my November/December State of the Collection video series. This is video number 6. This is video 6. This is the last video. This is also the last video in the Zelos series. This is video number 3 of that sub-series. This video is dedicated completely to one particular line of the Zelos company, and that is the ZX Chronograph line. I've done videos on all these watches individually, so if you see a particular one that you want more detail on, you can always go back into the archive of my channel and find that particular video. You just search on ZX1, ZX2, etc., etc., and that will find that video for you, and you can watch the detailed video. Learn more about that particular watch and get more angles and such. The ZX line was created by Zelos as a tribute to the X-Wing, X-planes of the 50s and 60s that the U.S. Air Force used as test beds for different engines, different configurations, trying to break the sound barrier, etc., etc. They have features like the crowns are conical shaped to mimic the shape of a jet or rocket plane's engine nozzle. The stubby lugs are supposed to be reminiscent of the stubby wings that a lot of those planes used. There are more details about those watches, about the features in the watches that serve as tribute to the X-planes. You can find a little more detail about that on the Zelos website, zeloswatches.com. There were 8 models of ZX watch available to the public. There were, and I have all 8. These rows here represent one example of each of the models, ZX1 through ZX8. And you may notice that there are actually 10 watches here. We'll get to those in a moment. But I checked with Elshin, and I think I'm the only person that he knows of that is crazy enough to acquire one model from each of the ZX lines. Now, there were choices between manual or automatics and quartz. I have 3 of these watches are quartz watches. The others are all automatics. But I have one of each. So if anyone ever wondered how deep the Zelos sickness goes with me, it goes pretty deep. So we're going to go start from the left, work our way over to here. We'll start with, of course, ZX1. ZX1 is an automatic, as you can see on the back. It has these are all the automatics are Valjoux 7750s with custom rotors. All the quartzes, I believe, are Seiko VK63s. This one has the titanium case. I paired it with the titanium. This was the optional titanium bracelet with the first generation ratcheting clasp, which I like so much. Pushers are up here. The top pusher, of course. And what I like about these pushers is they have to be a positive push. There has to be a positive engagement to get this thing running and stopping. This is not a pusher for the wimpy. Stop it. It's a flyback reset. You have constant seconds at the 9 o'clock. Whoa! You know, I keep thinking I'm going to do that every time I shoot one of these videos. And I done did it. So let me fix my tripod. And you're going to stay up? Yes, you are. Okay, sorry about that. We'll keep going. We'll keep the flaws in. It makes for good laughter. As I said, constant seconds at the 9 o'clock. You have chronograph hours at the 6 o'clock, chronograph minutes at the 12 o'clock, and you can see it's a 30-minute on the chronograph minutes. Black dial, white loomed subdials. There is good loom on this. You can see that in pictures on the website. So that's ZX1. Titanium case, bracelet, black dial. ZX2, and there's a great story behind how this one was so difficult to acquire. This one came from the UK, and it was an absolute disaster in terms of shipping. You can call up the video on that. I went into that story in some detail. The person I bought this from on eBay is a subscriber to this channel. I unfortunately forgot your name. I apologize, but shout out to you for working with me and sending me such a nice watch at a really, really good price. This one is a little different from the ZX1 in that we have a black bezel instead of a raw titanium. This one is a quartz, and all the quartz watches got a closed case with a relief of the X15 plane, and you can see that it is a quartz. Now Zelos changed the orientation of the quartz ones. The constant seconds is at the 6 o'clock instead of at the 9 o'clock, and you move the hours up to the 9 o'clock, and the chronograph minutes are still at the 12 o'clock. Only this one is a 60-minute counter, so slight variations. Titanium case, titanium bracelet, has the ratchet and deploy, which I like so much. I'll put that back there. ZX3 is also a quartz, as you can see. Has the same orientation of the subdials. And but I like this one is really nice because it outlines everything in blue, and you know I like the blue, and it's really a nice kind of an iridescent blue, a blue that has some glow to it. Really nice meteorite face, titanium case and bracelet as normal. Same bracelet as before. The bracelet's pretty much going to be the same, so I'm going to stop going over that. And like I said, the bracelets were all optional, so of course I had to go and buy those from Zelos. Now, interesting story on this one. I actually owned another ZX3 quartz meteorite. I owned it, I loved it, but I sold it to fund another project, and it was literally the only watch I ever sold where I had seller's remorse, and managed to find another one, not the one I sold, unfortunately. But I found another one, and picked it up at a good price. Okay, moving on to the next row, we have the first of the, well, I don't know why I did that. That was really stupid. I have the ZX4. The ZX4 is a black dial like the ZX1, but it is a bronze case. And of course, being bronze, it is paired on a Horween leather strap, and it is an automatic, this particular one. Now, I understand that Zelos is working on bronze bracelets. They're going to be lined with stainless steel, just like this one is stainless steel case back, so that your skin doesn't turn green. They're not ready yet, but when they are, I'm going to be buying at least 3 plus my 2 bronze hammerheads, so I'm probably going to be buying 5 of them. Maybe Elshon will give me a bulk discount. Maybe. Now this one reverts back, because it's automatic, it reverts back to the constant seconds at the 9 o'clock, chronograph minutes at the 12, chronograph hours at the 6. So obviously that's a function of the movement changes the orientation of where subdials go on these watches. It's patinaing in nicely, although not very darkly. Very nice watch. So ZX4 is the bronze black dial. ZX5 is the bronze blue dial, and this one is also an automatic. And you can see the orientation of the dials is the same as this one, with the constant seconds at the 9 o'clock. This one actually was bought by my father. He's on and off on chronographs. He likes chronographs for a while, and then he goes cold on them. And I caught him one day when he was particularly cold on chronographs, and he said I could permanently borrow this watch, although he has borrowed it back from me for a couple of days here and there. And because it's on a strap, and even though we have different wrist sizes, obviously it's very easy for him to borrow back. Again, this patinaed in quite nicely. So that's a ZX5 bronze with the blue dial. ZX6 is bronze with the meteorite dial. And you can see this is a quartz, so we're back to the different orientations on the subdials. I really like the fact that it has the meteorite dial. I'm very attracted to meteorite dials. I think that's a very unusual look. Plus, everyone is a little bit different, and very nice watch overall. And yes, I do wear these watches. I mean, I do wear them all in rotation. After the ZX6, we get into the more rare and more, I don't know, I guess desirable, if you want to call it that, or whatever. The 2 ZXs that were available to the public, which are more rare than all the others. We have the ZX7, which, as you can see, is a Damascus watch. Not a lot of these made. I don't know, it's 40 of them. This is number 28 out of 40. And this is the only other Damascus watch I own besides the recently bought Swordfish Damascus. This was the first one I managed to get a hold of. I think I bought the last one that Elshon offered for sale. Really love the striping on this case. It's almost uniform in a way, which is unusual, I guess. But it's basically the ZX1 face. You can see it's very similar to the ZX1 face. And since they're both automatics, You can see that the orientation is pretty much the same. So it's basically ZX1 face in a Damascus case. And I'm all right with that. That's fine. The ZX1, ZX7 are very, very readable with the black dial with the white subdials in relief. And they are loomed. And you can see the chronograph does work. Flyback chronograph, just like usual. As a watch, it's an excellent timepiece. It keeps very good time. I paired this up with a Collareb strap because a titanium bracelet just wouldn't work. I suppose I could get a black mesh type bracelet like I did with the swordfish, but I like this one on this strap for now, so I think I'll leave it alone. Very hard to get one of those. I feel very fortunate that I was able to find one. Then there's the ZX8, the last of the ZX line available to the public. This one is unique unto itself. Unique subdials, unique main dial. The main dial is metal taken from the SR-71 Blackbird supersonic recon jet, the one that can do over Mach 3 and holds all kinds of records even to this day in terms of fastest this and highest that and so on. It's a spy plane, but it was retired recently. Elshin managed to get a hold of some metal from one of the retired jets and fashioned some watch faces out of them. So like what he did with the 688 Hammerhead. Not a lot of these watches around. Let me see if I can find the number. I think there are only 50. Not sure. Oh, wait, there it is, right there. It is 40. I'm sorry. So this is number 35 out of 40. So 40. And I think this was one of the last ones he sold as well. It is a little hard to read owing to the fact that the subdials are the same color as the watch face. But minor nitpick compared to having the privilege of owning the Blackbird ZX. This is one of my favorites. I really, really like this watch. And it really feels good on the wrist, too. Now we have two watches which were not available to the public, which I managed to acquire. And I feel very privileged. First of all, I have my ZX Spitfire. Why do we call it the Spitfire? Well, we call it the Spitfire because the metal disc that makes up the watch face is metal that Elshin acquired, a piece of metal from an actual World War II Supermarine Spitfire fighter plane from the RAF. This was actually, in another slightly different iteration, was Elshin's personal watch. I convinced him, however, that it should be mine. No, I asked him if he would consider selling it someday, and he said, yes, I would. And I bought it from him, and he said, that's fine, but I need to refurbish it a bit. It's a bit beat up, and it's using different internals or something like that. It took a while. Obviously, he was busy with other projects, and he's a businessman trying to make money, and this was a back burner project. It took a while, but it did arrive, obviously, and it arrived in great shape. And it's been a very favorite of mine, a constant companion of mine for a good long time. It is on the titanium bracelet. That's how he had it, and he sent it to me that way. The one thing I like about this one, which I wish he would have done on all the other ones, is he used separate coloring for the constant seconds, which is gold tone, which matches the hands and the indices and so on. So you know that's part of the timing mechanism of the watch. And the chronograph hand, which I'll start it so it moves a little bit. So you can see the chronograph hand is red. And the two subdials for the chronograph are also red. So that sort of differentiates them from the constant seconds, which I think is a hell of a good thing to do. And I wish it had been done on all the other ones. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Maybe if he ever does another ZX, maybe he'll do it that way. But very happy and very honored that Elshin let me buy that watch off of him and have another military-themed watch and military tribute watch in my collection. And finally, we have, I guess you could call a sort of a crown jewel, is my ZX prototype. As far as I know, there are only two prototypes made. Both of them were somewhat similar. Now you can see this watch is a little, let me find the ZX2. No, yeah, ZX2 is probably similar. You can see that the prototype is a little bit smaller than a production ZX. Now, and you can also see that the ZX prototype has a day and date window at the 3 o'clock, which obviously none of the ZX have day or date on them. That was decided during pre-production that it was going to be no day, no date for a cleaner look on the dial. I like the day date function. I really think it was a nice addition to the watch. But you know, I'm not a designer. I'm a consumer, so I'm sure there were design reasons why this doesn't work to most people's eyes. But to my eyes, it works fine. This is an undecorated Valjoux 7750. You can see it has an undecorated rotor compared to, no, not that one. Compared to a standard rotor and the production, you can see the difference between the two. This is just a standard Valjoux 7750. It's not decorated. It does function the same though. I paired this up on a collar leather strap. The reason I did that is because the case design will not allow one of these bracelets to work on this watch. So I can't get a ZX bracelet on this watch. So pity, but you know, what are you going to do? You can see the orientation is constant seconds at the 9 o'clock, chronograph minutes at the 12, chronograph hours at the 6. Otherwise, it's basically a ZX watch. It's just a little smaller and has the day-date window. Now, I'm the third guy that got a hold of this watch, second or third guy. This watch actually went up for sale during one of Elshin's clearance sales, and he did that clearance sale while I was asleep. I would have jumped on this watch faster than you could say jump on this watch, but I did. I missed it. I followed it around. I got a hold of actually the owner of this before me got a hold of me and offered it to me, and I initially had to decline it. Then I worked on I worked on a few things, and then came back to him and said, "Would you take this much?" And he said, "Maybe not that, but maybe this." And I said, "I can work with that, and the watch is mine." And it ain't going nowhere. I don't know how much of a market there would be for a prototype Zelos watch, but I don't care. It's staying at my house. So very happy to have gotten a hold of that. So that is my ZX madness. I might be the only guy in the world with one of every example of ZX watch made. One of each, 1 through 8, plus a custom one-off, plus a prototype. So my love for Zelos ZX line runs pretty deep, as you can see. And I'm good with that. So that concludes this video. That concludes my Zelos series of State of the Collection. And that concludes my entire State of the Collection for November, December 2020. So I won't have to do this again until next year. There's a lot of work to do one of these, so I only want to do them once a year. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this series, I hope you will give me a thumbs up. The thumbs up does help the channel. It helps with the search algorithms for YouTube. And when my channel appears in a search, if I have lots of thumbs ups on the video, it will appear higher in the search result list. So a thumbs up really does help me. Comments, questions, suggestions, especially about me knocking my camera over. I'm sure everyone will get a good laugh about that. I read all the comments. I respond to all the comments. However, if you're going to be a negative person, you're going to be a nasty person, you're going to be a troll, or you're going to post links that take my viewers to places that are bad, I'm going to delete the comments so that it's not seen, and I'm going to block you so that you're not seen. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Feel free to watch as many videos as you want. All I ask is that before you leave, click that subscribe button and then click the bell icon next to it so that when I upload new content, you will be alerted. Also, when I go live and do a live stream, which I do every Wednesday afternoon at noon Eastern Time, or other times during the week when opportunity and mood avail themselves to me, you will be alerted to those live streams and you can come and join us. Everyone, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, be well. I will see you again in my next video.